Hey everybody, this is Joe. I'm here in Houston, Texas. I'm in Zone 9B and I have a cottage style butterfly garden, and we just had a giant rain, so everything is knocked down. But now is the time when I can do a video. So here we go, even though it's flattened. I usually start up there in my front bed, but what I'm going to show you is something called frog fruit. This is a native Texas plant, and I'm working very hard to add Texas native plants to my garden. Look how cute the little flower is on this frog fruit. It's a ground cover. I tried to get it started in the corners here. I would love for it to cover this whole giant stretch of grass. The less grass, the better. It is not aggressive. You can see it's very aggressive once established, but wasn't aggressive enough to just take over the grass. So I'm trying to get it inch by inch out into this grass, and I have a little bit of it back there as well. But I am happy for it to be covering part of this retaining wall, and eventually my hope is that as a ground cover I can even have it cover this, so that the only grass I have is up there. And then I'd love to do something with the hell strip, but that is for another day. I've got some roses up here. These are drift roses, and they're doing pretty well. Some of them are engulfed in this frog fruit, but I'm letting it happen because the roses look so bad. I think last year's heat and drought took their toll, but the white one seems to be the most hardy. And then I've got this wonderful salvia. I don't know the variety name. It was here when we moved in, and it just, this little patch is 15 plus years old and going strong. Now I'm gonna skip the mess over here, which is mostly just blue bonnets. I'm waiting to go for the seed pods to dry out so I can pull them all out. But here are a few Texas natives. This is yarrow. Look at this wonderful little feathery foliage, and then of course it's gotten beaten down in the rain. Let me see if I can find you a pretty one. It's got a pretty little white flower. This is native to, I'm sure, a lot of the United States. This is the real variety, what purists would call the real in native Texas native plants. This is yarrow that has been hybridized, and it is fabulous. Look at that color. And it's a much smaller plant, a little bit more well kempt, although again it's all flat from the rain. And over here I've got a lot of salvia coccinea, which is not blooming yet. This is a coral nymph, which is native. Then this, just getting ready to bloom already. This is Jewels of Opar, which is native, I think, to all of North America. I've got a pink Texas rock rose. It's a little muddy. And then I think I hear a woodpecker right there. Oh, there he goes. He loves that bird feeder. This is Salvia farinaceae. This whole sort of fluffy bit here, that is a native Texas salvia. I think it's just beautiful. And there's some of the coral nymph back there. Let me see if I can show you the color on that. Look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? I just love that. This fantastic penta that made it through another winter, my goodness, is really going. And I think that this little penta, this big penta, to me, from afar, looks like a little dainty hydrangea. Because I can't grow that kind of hydrangea in the Texas heat. So I have to live vicariously. Here is a all wet and flopped over. This is Amy. So pretty. And this is also a, because in the carrot family, is a larval host for eastern black swallowtail butterflies. I've got some fantastic cone flowers going. This is the powwow wildberry, and you can see I've got such pretty, just a few little larkspur left. They're pretty ratty, and I'm letting them go to seed before I pull them up. So they're little seed pods. I'm waiting for them to ripen. And then, oh goodness, look at this incredible Gora. Now it's beaten down, but oh, it's huge and beautiful, and I'm so happy with it. And then growing amongst it is sorry for all the floppiness, a Texas rock rose, which I think is going to be really pretty, sort of mixed in together. This is more Ammi, which I threw out seeds in it, and I feel like I love Ammi, but it never germinates and grows exactly where I want it. So it's kind of in the middle. So when it gets hot, I'll pull that out, and I will be left with this combo of native Texas plants: the Gora, the pink rock rose, this purple Salvia farinacea. Then I will have, it's a purple coneflower is a native Texas plant, but this is a hybrid. So some people would call this a nativar, because it's a cultivar of a native plant. And then on the other side, I will have, this yarrow. In the back, I will have Salvia coccinea. And then, oh my goodness, this is so pretty. This is dwarf Barbados cherry. It's getting ready to bloom. You see the little buds right there. So pretty. So this is all and pretty much everything you can see except this is native, and I'm just really happy with that. I feel like one of the things I'm doing is proving to myself and hopefully encouraging other people that they can use native plants to grow a cottage style garden. This is another native, although it's a nativar. This is a dwarf variety of Salvia leucantha, and I'm really liking its little short stature. It sure got smashed in the rain. Another native blue mist flower, and it can run around, so you have to be ready to pull some of it out. Here's another coneflower. It's showing white right now, but I know I planted pretty parasols, which has got a little pink to it, so it's just doing its own thing. And oh look here, there is some of that dwarf Barbados cherry blooming. So pretty. Amongst these wonderful natives, here's another native. This is pink Gulf muhlygrass, and I finally pulled one dead one up, but this one has been okay. And oh, I passed by another native, which is aquatic milkweed, and it is a native Texas plant. It's been eaten down once by monarch caterpillars, and it's just getting ready to bloom again. I've got this crazy lavender nicotiana. Now that's not a native plant. It's massive though. I mean, goodness gracious. I have never deadheaded this. It's just completely bananas. And so it's kind of taken up, goodness, a huge amount of this garden. And I think as soon as it gets really hot, that'll be it. But how fun is that? Another native here is purple loosestrife. Oh my goodness, here is the first flower on the loosestrife. I'm excited about that. Here's a little chunk of it right here. And I like the foliage. I'm afraid it's getting a little bit crowded out. This is my favorite salvia, and just looking at it, you can tell why it's my favorite. This is Salvia mystic spires. It is not a native salvia. My goodness, isn't it just glorious? And then I've got another little pop over here of that big old penta that I just love. Here's a native tree I've put in a pot. That's the desert willow. I hope it'll bloom. It's got beautiful blooms. I've got a little bit more milkweed in here that I grew from seed, and I've got it under this so that it's just not, it's so new that it's not really ready to host any monarch butterflies. They would chomp it down, and I'm not sure it would come back. So I've got a little protection to keep the butterflies off of it for now. And then here is a pink variety of Gora, which I like even better than the white. So pretty. Here is the real. It's getting a lot of shade, which is why it's basically as small as the dwarf. This is another Salvia leucantha. And then that winner back there is a native oak leaf hydrangea. Oh, there's Miss Doubtfire. Did you get wet, baby? Did you get wet in the rain? I've got one sad little agapanthus that came up. And then that is a native wood fern there. And another native is porterweed. And look how lovely that is. Isn't that wonderful? And it will bloom in little chunks all the way up. And this really didn't bloom for me in the drought, but once it rained, it would have a huge bloom. And then if it would get hot and dry again, it would kind of it was just in stasis. It would just stay. And then as soon as we got a rain, all the flowers would come out. So it was super fun. I've got little things dotted in here. I've got a few pretty zinnias that just came back from last year's seeds. I didn't put any new zinnia seeds in here, I don't think. There's another dwarf Barbados cherry. And this will actually have little cherries. I've yet to see one, but it will have little cherries on it, and birds will enjoy those. Here's more native milkweed here. This is an Eryngium I grew years ago. It has never once bloomed, and so that space is earmarked for more native milkweed. I'll pull that out. But this buddy will get huge, huge. And then again, this little grass is not very happy. And so this is sort of earmarked for yet more native milkweed. And this is a native plant called Walter's viburnum. It is a wonderful evergreen shrub. It has little white flowers in the fall and in the winter. And I think you can clip it like a little boxwood. I've had a beautiful one, medium, terrible, but it's got a piece that's still alive. And so I'm hoping that will come back. And then you can see the damage that the monarch butterfly caterpillars did. This is milkweed, and they just took every single leaf off of it. And so, but you can see it's already coming back, a few little leaves popping back out. I have another Gora tucked back in here. Where did it go? Everything has fallen over and gotten so floppy. I'm not sure where anything is anymore. Ah, there it is. One little stem. And another Gora tucked back in there. And here is a pretty picture of the coral nymph salvia. So pretty. And then I've got a few fun annuals. I've got some Cleome that I've got growing in here. I've got some, this is Gomphrena that I grew from seed. Most of it got chomped by snails and slugs. And so I'm happy to have some that's left over. There's more Why did I forget the name? I'm having a moment, y'all. I'm having a senior moment. I'll come back to that. I've lost my mind. Cleo, there we go. Look how beautiful. Goodness gracious. This is the oak leaf hydrangea. It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. I can hear that thunder in the background. I feel like I better hurry up. The Mutabilis rose, a little worse for wear after the storm. And I try to keep this deadheaded as much as I can. Sometimes I can't reach it very well, but I do try to keep that deadheaded, and it will keep blooming really all year long. This is a beautiful tulip magnolia. And that's another one that's much older, much more mature. Here's another one. This is a different variety. And I just noticed today that it is giving me a few more little flowers. Isn't that great? Got some lyre leaf sage tucked under here. That's a native. And there's some white fragrant mistflower down there. It's really not blooming in the shade, but it is a butterfly host, and so I've got it going there for the butterflies. This, holy moly, it's gotten so wet, it's just hanging over from the rain. That is a wax myrtle. That is a native tree, and I just love it. And I have, you can't quite tell because it got so wet, but I have been trimming it up. No, you really can't tell. It's too wet. I have been, there we go. I have been limbing it up so that you can see the trunk. And I think it's really pretty like that. And then I've got little peppers down here. I've got some jalapenos going. And I've got a little cucamelon that was a gift from my friend Sarah. And it's not very happy, but I'm hoping, it looks like maybe one of them has caught on. Here's some more. These are, it's just called a garden salsa pepper. Look at that. They're huge. And then another pepper. I don't think I've got any peppers on these plants, but this gets such great sun over here. And so even though it faces my sweet neighbor's driveway, it really, it does great for veggies. This is the second year that I've put some vegetables, and I had a cantaloupe growing over here for a while. And I think it's fun to grow vegetables and herbs in your garden, and so this is my nod to veggies. And I have some cantaloupe around the side of the back bed. Well, thanks for taking a look with me. I hope you guys will think about the next time you are at the garden store, at the nursery, to think about adding some native plants to your bed. When you have native plants, then you are attracting and supporting native wildlife, birds, pollinators, butterflies, and you can make a beautiful, beautiful garden. My other hope is that you may do what I did a couple of years ago, is I made this front yard bed. You know, it used to be, when we moved in, just like a wax leaf ligustrum or something, just lined up like little soldiers all across the back, and this big old non-native crepe myrtle. And the bed sort of stopped about there, sort of at the end of the iron railing. And as time has gone on, I have made it deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And the way I did this was with a no-dig method. We covered the grass with cardboard. And then on top of that, we put about 4 to 6 inches of sort of compost and mulch mix. And that killed the grass. And then I just planted straight into that. There are a lot of ways to do no dig. I did the easiest, laziest way. And this is the result. So I hope you guys had a great day. Thanks for looking at my garden and all the encouragement that you give me in the comment section. I'm going to show you the last thing up here. Oh, there's Miss Doubtfire one more time. You're so wet. Go on the patio, you silly goose. This is a crinum lily. We have a lot of native crinums in Texas. I don't know if this is one or not, but look how wonderful that is. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.